Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. There's anyone that could put a message in the chat, or Meryl, if you could send me a message on LinkedIn, let me know that I'm working this. This is my second time ever that I'm using Restream. And hopefully you can see me. Sorry about this, guys. This is all new because I only used it first time last month. All right, here we go. I have to find out how I get my picture up here. See, when I have a co-host, poor Lisa's sick today. Normally I can check some things in advance, but I don't have my co-host today. All right, so here I am. So Meryl, can you see me? Can you put a link in the chat to me privately in LinkedIn? I hope this is working, guys. I have some great stuff for you today, so hang tight. See, when you're a newbie, you kind of have to learn on the fly. So I'm just sending Meryl a chat to see if this is working here. All right. Well, I am going to share my screen once I hear from Meryl or somebody in a chat. I don't know if you guys can put a message under in the comments, or somebody can send me a private message. So hope everybody's doing great today. I'm in snowy Pennsylvania. Okay, yes, I've been posting comments in the event, Nick. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I didn't want to begin until I had confirmation. So sorry for that delay. As I said, this is the second time I'm using this, and you got to start somewhere. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to do a LinkedIn training today. And I'm going to send Meryl the link in case anybody does want to come up on stage and ask any questions. So let me get that to Meryl real quick, and then I will begin. Okay, so here we go. And if you'd like a copy of this deck, you may ask me in a direct message. So here we go. I am sharing. Oop, I don't think I'm sharing the right screen. Hold on, guys. I gotta get the right screen going. Okay, there we go. Now I think I got it. There we go. Now I've got the right screen. So sorry about that little bit delay, but we all have to start somewhere when we have new software. So I'm going to make this bigger and I'm going to do some live demos for you today. So here's my slideshow. And when I have my slideshow over my entire screen, I can't see any messages or anything else that's going on, and I can't see anybody wanting to come into the live stream. So I may have to wait until I switch my screens um, to do some live demos where I might catch those messages, or you may have to come in at the end. But anyway, welcome today. My name is Lynne Williams. I'm out of the suburbs of Philadelphia. So, yes, I'm in Eagles country, and we are getting ready for a very big parade on Friday to celebrate our win at the Super Bowl. But today we're going to talk about LinkedIn. So, if you have a LinkedIn profile and you have a strategy and that you might need to change because your LinkedIn is not working for you, I'm going to throw some ideas at you. If you ask 10 resume writers or 10 LinkedIn profile writers how you go about doing your LinkedIn profile, you're probably going to get 20 different answers. And that's okay. There's no one right way, but I'm going to throw some ideas at you and plant some seeds because you might like what I say, it might resonate with you, and you should do what works for you and what you love because it's your LinkedIn profile. Now, if you think about Stephen Covey, you've probably heard of him. Begin with the end in mind. So, what is it that you want your LinkedIn profile to do? Do you want to find a job? Do you want to find a client? Do you want to advance in your career? So you want to optimize your profile with the right keywords and position it in your future forward. Right now, LinkedIn's got over 1 billion people on the platform. It was launched in 2003 and it's deemed the world's largest professional network. As of September 2024, from one of the last links that I looked up, there's over 239 million people who are on LinkedIn in just the United States. So every single second, there are 3 new members who join LinkedIn, and 140 job applications are submitted every single second. Those are some pretty staggering statistics. Now, most of you have got the memo that you need to customize your LinkedIn URL. If you did not get that memo yet, then I'm going to do a really quick demo here. If you have a bunch of numbers and letters after your name when you look at your URL, you can click on this link here or go to the website of my nonprofit, which is greatcareers.org. And you can, type URL in the top right-hand search bar, and you're going to come up with this article. So this is a picture of me at LinkedIn in New York City, the very first time that I visited. I've been there a couple times since. So if your name is John Doe, you could just get rid of the gobbledygook at the end and make it John Doe, or you can make it John Dash Doe or John Dash M Dash Doe if that's your middle name, John Dash Michael Dash Doe, John Dash Doe Dash CPA, John Dash Doe Dash MBA, whatever it may be. So let me show you how you do that real quick. You're going to go to the public profile URL over here on the right. You're going to click on that little pen, and then you're going to click on the pen again on the right, and just try to get rid of all that stuff that is numbers and letters. And if it does not save as the name you want it, then you have to go back to the drawing board and choose those other items. But don't forget to click save before you exit that. So I'm just going to get out of that because mine has already been saved for many, many years. All right, I'm going to go back to the deck, um, and we're going to talk about the next topic, which is personal branding. How do you differentiate yourself and distinguish yourself from other people on LinkedIn? What's your secret sauce? You got to stand out some way, shape, or form. So there's a few ways you can do that. You want to think about what's your value proposition. Now, a lot of people put in their headline, I help blah, 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 solve such and such a problem. I've always been told not to use the word help. So when I heard that, I changed my elevator pitch, which kind of aligns with my LinkedIn profile, to I guide you to your keywords to beat the bots. So think about who you help, how you help them, what's your target audience, and who you are. What is your subject matter expertise in? Now, value proposition, there's a link here. So if you ask me for the deck, you will get all these links, but you can also go to the top of right of greatcareers.org, which is my nonprofit website, and type in USP, meaning unique selling proposition. And this article will come up. So this explains the difference between a unique selling proposition, a personal branding statement, a value proposition statement. And so I kind of make it all in one for my purposes and just to streamline it and keep it simple. And I just call it all a USP, even though the unique selling proposition was first meant for businesses. But I just like it because I think you're unique. Now, first thing is your banner. You cannot have this standard grayish greenish banner. That is the default banner that LinkedIn gives you. You have to change it in some way, shape, or form because it's your billboard. It's the first thing people see when they come to your profile. I wouldn't recommend any ski slopes or beaches or waterfalls or anything like that because that is probably something I would say you should reserve for Facebook posts or a post on LinkedIn if that's appropriate. But for your banner, you want to make it clear what it is that you do. Now, the bottom one is a standard LinkedIn banner, and I'm equity. I am for equity because equity starts with everyone. Well, yes, I believe in that. But if I was in the DEI, BAJ space, and B is belonging, A is accessibility, and J is justice, I would want to make my banner differentiated and not use the same LinkedIn banner that so many other people are using. So, right here, the word banner, again, you can go back to the nonprofit website and type in banner up at the top right, and you will get these step by step instructions on how to make your LinkedIn banner shine. So you would set up a free Canva account and you can follow these instructions. But I'm going to do a really quick demo, really quick, just so you can see what to do and what buttons to push. I have a Canva Pro account, but I'm going to show you from the perspective of a free account. So here we are in canva.com. And over here on the left, you can see templates. When you click on templates, up at the top, you can type LinkedIn banner. Well, it's saved in mine. So that's why I was able to click on it. Now, when you see all these little crowns on these images, these are all pro accounts. So they're not free to you if you don't have the paid account. But this one, for example, is free. There's no crown on the bottom right. So what you want to do is click on this and you're going to say customize this template. Now, you don't want to ruin the template. So I always suggest you go File, make a copy, and let's close down that template so we don't make any mistakes. And now I can type my name in the place of this person's name. And if I wanted to change the font, this is an Amsterdam 4 font. Maybe I want Archivo Black. Okay. And if I want to make it smaller, I can click the minus sign. If I want to make it bigger, I can click the plus sign, or I just click in the middle and I can choose a specific size. And then if I wanted to move it up to the top right, it's just a drag and drop, very simple like that. And I'm not a graphic designer, and I'm going to get rid of the website, so I can move that up, and I can type in resumes, LinkedIn, keywords, ATS. And if I need to extend this, I drag it from the right-hand side. And now if I want to put it right underneath my name, and then I can click in the center to center it like that. And there we go. So when I download this, I'm going to go share, download, PNG file, and then it should be in my downloads folder. And then what I can do is go to LinkedIn and up at the top right, click the little pen, and it might say upload from computer or something like that. Here, in this case, if I wanted to change it, I could change my photo and apply. So once you see that uploaded, you've at least helped yourself by getting rid of the standard default banner. Now, here's a couple ideas, and I do have permission to um, uh, advertise Charles. Charles is down in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's a business coach. When I first met him, this is what his picture looked like. You can see in the middle on the left, his head was kind of exploding out of the circle in LinkedIn. So I put a link in here, invest in a professional photo, and look at how wonderful he looks in the top left. So he went out and got a professional photo taken, and he looks excellent. Now, we first chose the banner colors before he went to get his picture taken. He wanted to have a Swiss Army knife as part of the vivid image for his brand building on LinkedIn. So we built the banner red and black and white. So when he went to go get his picture to make his outfit complementary to his banner, he says, okay, I guess I'm going to be wearing a black suit, white shirt, and red tie. And I said, yep, that's exactly it. So these other banners give you an idea of different things that you can do. You can put QR codes on your banner. I teach that in another class. And then there's this link down here for Photo Feeler. It's a quid pro quo platform. So if you evaluate other people's pictures, they will evaluate yours and you'll get a score from that. Now, I want to talk about headlines. So there's different ways that different people do headlines. So as I say, there's no one right way. I'm just going to show you what I do. And the first thing is I put a key title on. And it's not president, CEO if you are a business owner. It's more like what problem you solve, what pain point you take away. If you are a job seeker, you also want to put that job title in. If you are employed, I suggest you put a job title in. It does not have to be your job title if it's not descriptive enough, but it's kind of what you do or what industry you work in. But we have a lot of people who want to do career pivots. A career pivot is when you are staying in the same industry, but you're taking on a different role. Versus a reinvention is when you are reinventing from one industry to the next. Maybe you were in the military and you want to go in the corporate world. Maybe you are in the federal government and need to go in the corporate world because you've been downsized. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you're done with that and you want to get a W 2 job or go into nonprofit. I mean, there's all different possibilities. You can go from self employed to employed or vice versa. You know, I've worked with people doing both ways. So, what I use is ChatGPT to get a little fodder um, for somebody, and I'll show you live. I'm going to do a demo with that. Now, when I put it all together, I use pipes in between the words. There are other career coaches that suggest that those not be used, but I've never had a client who's had a problem with using pipes. I've had people that have been contacted, you know, within a day or two of changing their LinkedIn profiles, and they have pipes in it. I also use Emojipedia for emojis. So let me show you what this looks like. I'm going to go to my prompt. So I'm going to create a unique selling proposition of less than 10 words for someone who is and we're going to pick something. Now, I don't know if I can get ChatGPT. I forgot to get that up on this. No, it wants me to. I'm going to see if I can stay logged out and still do this. My ChatGPT account is on another Google Drive, but I'd like to stay on this one. So let's see if this works. Create a unique selling proposition of less than 10 words for someone who is let's do virtual assistant and specializes in um, video editing. All right, when I click this little arrow, it's going to give me something. Streamlining tasks with expert virtual assistants and seamless video editing. Um, Now, here's where I can't show you any more of this demo because I don't have my own um, platform on ChatGPT up where I have my paid account. But I can click on a little button and ask it to regenerate a few other times. And I can take this concept and this idea and use it um, on my headline. So I'm going to go back to the Google Doc and let's start working with this. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. All right. So what are we talking about? We're talking about a virtual assistant and video editing. Maybe they do Adobe Premiere. Other virtual assistant tasks, they might do email marketing. They might do campaigns. etc. Depends on what this person does. So now I'm going to move this back. When I take the words and I highlight them all, if I'm in a Google Doc, so if I click on Tools, Word Count, it shows me I have 159 characters. So I have more room to move because I can have up to 220 characters. So now let's put in HubSpot, active campaign. Communications. Let's see where we're at with that. I'm going to measure it again, and I'm going to go Tools, Word Count, and that's 203. Well, maybe I want to put an emoji or two on it. I typically do not put emojis in the beginning. I normally put them towards the end. And the reason for that is I think about how Google is going to interpret things on LinkedIn's database because it's website related. And I think about something called a meta tag. Um, I'm not going to explain all that right now, but I have my reasons why I do what I do. So let me go to emojipedia.org and let me put in video. All right. So here's a video camera. I know it's a little old school, but it still might work for our purposes. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to here and I'm going to put the one emoji there and make a space. Then I'm going to go back to Emojipedia and type in computer and choose a laptop. And I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste that. And then when I measure it again, tools, word count, I now have 209 characters. So I have 220 characters. Um, and now I can proceed with copying and pasting that into my headline or tweaking it further. So maybe because I have active campaign, maybe I'm going to add marketing campaigns, or maybe um, I might decide I want to change that and digital marketing. So nothing is engraved in stone. You can change it out anytime you want. All right, now I'm going to go and do another demo. So here is an example that I had done for somebody in California who is a software test engineer. And in the job description, it said, delivers a high quality user experience. So we thought that was a good word to put in the USP. So the first thing is the title, and then there's other keywords that are associated with this for this person. And then the last thing, the ensuring flawless, high quality user experiences through expert software testing and the emoji, that would be considered the USP. So this is how you can make yourself slightly differentiated and unique and distinguished from other people who are like you, who are test automation engineers or virtual assistants, etc. No matter what you are or what you do, what you know, what your subject matter expertise is, you can customize this to you. Now, let's talk about keywords. Where do I put keywords? Well, obviously, I just did a demo on the headline, but I also put keywords in the About section. And you can also put keywords in the job titles or not. There's a couple different options there. You can put keywords in the skills section. And, if you have bullet points from your resume, for example, you can copy and paste those into LinkedIn with the details of the work experience with the keywords. And you can also put them in projects and publications. Now, I'm going to go to my LinkedIn profile and I'm going to go down to my work experience. So here you can see I have resumes and LinkedIn branding, keywords, ATS, reinventions, career pivot, speaker, author. Well, I rebranded after being in business for 30 years. I decided I needed a new name and a new identity. So I built that company page and I've been pretty busy. So I haven't, I don't constantly post things on it. I try to do what I can do. But if I was going to start a new job, you can see these are what I call embellished job titles. Um, these are not in LinkedIn's database. So if I wanted to click a plus sign here and I wanted to add a new position, what am I going to call myself? Career something, specialist, coach, counselor, services specialist, career assistant, consultant, advisor, services. So, and then I could take this little bar down and there's also other titles. So these are called market value filters, choosing the job title that's in LinkedIn's database. Now, if I was a job seeker, at least the last job that I have, I might actually put um, the job title that most closely matches what's in LinkedIn's database. But I'm not a job seeker, so I feel that, I can do what I want and I'd rather tell people more keywords in my headlines. Um, so you have to do what's right for you and your situation. So I'm going to discard that. Now, I do want to do a demo for you on keywords. So if I go to the Jobs tab and I type in project manager, and I'm just going to use Greater Philadelphia because that's where I'm at. If you look at the dark blue, you see there's 2,473 results in the dark blue. If I were to change this to project management, we're going to see how many jobs are available now. So we go from 2473 to 3442. So which word do you think is a better choice to put in your LinkedIn headline? And then maybe you put the other one in the about section of your profile. Now, I'm going to do another demo for you on Google Trends, which is trends.google.com. So I'm going to type in project manager and I'm going to click explore and I'm going to compare that to project management. What is it that people are searching for on Google? Well, in the United States, in the past day, you can see from the bar chart and the line chart that on Google, project management is still searched more than project manager. But we want to check out what's happening in your large metropolitan area. So in this case, I'm going to type Philadelphia and I could choose the Wilmington, Delaware, like side of things. I could choose the Cherry Hill, New Jersey side of things, but in this case, I'm going to choose the Philadelphia. And I don't want just the past day. Let me at least look at the past 90 days. So now you still see there is a clear uh, bar chart and line chart that's showing that project management is being searched more than project manager. So it kind of reflects what's happening on LinkedIn. All right, we're going to now talk about the skills section. I'm going to go back to my LinkedIn profile. So, one of my examples that's coming up is if I scroll down to the skills section and I'm going to click plus. I know somebody who has 3 synonyms on his LinkedIn profile for SOP, standard operating procedure. One of them is capital SOP. Well, that's not in this drop down menu. You don't even see capital S, capital O, capital P, but you do see standard operating procedure, parentheses, capital SOP, close parentheses. So when you are putting words in the skills section, you want to choose from the drop down menu because this is part of the market value filters on LinkedIn, and that's what's in their database. So you may not be able to get the right word. So I had a doctor that I finished last week, and she wanted to be a medical director. You don't see medical director, do you? You see medical directors. So in order for her to be found on LinkedIn, she had to choose this word. So that's just another example of the market value filters. So I'm going to discard that. And now we're going to talk about the about section. And I'm going to go back to Charles. So Charles, here's his banner. He has, his keywords and a transformer solving complex problems. That is his USP. Now, as an entrepreneur, here is an example. He had all these in paragraphs, and frankly, if people have paragraphs in their about section, I typically don't read it. My eyes glaze over. I want to be able to skim and scan and get a handle on you very quickly, whether you're a job seeker, a client seeker, or even employed. So I don't want to see all black and white, especially when it gets squunched down to a small screen on a digital device like a mobile phone. What I want to do is look at little pops of color, emojis. Is it bullet pointy? Is it easy for me to skim and scan? I'm a former K-12 teacher, and I used to teach little people how to read. And I also used to teach high school students how to skim and scan, getting them ready to study for midterms and finals. So I typically will write about sections that are skimmable, scannable, bullet pointy, and have emojis from Emojipedia on it. You might see some people that have bold, that have underline or italics in it. That is something called Unicode. And I don't think Unicode is a good idea on your LinkedIn profile. There's potentially some security risks in it, and it is not readable by the database, only readable by the human eyes. So if you go to greatcareers.org and you type in Unicode, you will find this article as to how to add Unicode to LinkedIn and social media. So here's a bunch of links of how you can create Unicode, but I would save those for your posts rather than your profile. Okay, so let's go back to the about section of Charles. And instead of having those bold or underline or italic sections, I just type things in capital letters and I put an emoji next to it. So we're saying ideal client section, client's biggest problem section, why coaching services are essential, impact of business challenges, why choose me, how it works, take the assessment, contact info. And he also chose to have some duplicative information under his last job or under his most current job, which is as a business and executive coach. All right. I'm going to pull Roy up. Roy is a good friend in Australia, and I've actually done business with him. He sells promotional products, and I got some special little golf ball customized holders, for a golf tournament this year. So let's just take a look and see what Roy's got. Same thing, you know, little opening statement, ideal client, client's biggest needs, why promotional product strategies are essential. I can talk, no worries. Okay, impact of video brochures, why choose me? Clients include Fortune 500 companies, how we work together. And look at this nice stack of contact info to make it very easy for somebody to kind of skim and scan that. And if they want to go to his YouTube page or book a calendar appointment or his website, it's all right there. It makes it handy dandy. Now, can you do the same thing as a job seeker? Absolutely, you can do that. But some people are going to say, oh, I don't want to put my cell phone in there. Okay, well, have you ever heard of Google Voice? Go ahead and get a free Google Voice number and you can put that in there. I have one and only one phone number and it's in there. So I haven't had any more spam, than the next person with publicizing that. So it kind of is what it is. All right, let's go to um, somebody else who has given me permission, and she just started a new job, which is very exciting. So here's the project management, other keywords, and here's picture perfect project plan from inception through release. So that is her USP. But the reason I want to show you this is because of her about section. She was a job seeker. Now, at the top of her resume, we have a paragraph that is maybe five, at the most 6 lines. This is from the top of the resume. Project manager with experience in what industries? Next sentence starts with expertise in. Next sentence starts with strengths include. Next sentence starts with known for. Now, I like to put icebreakers in. I think it's a great way of starting a conversation with somebody and getting to know them, because you don't want to, just kind of connect and pitch right away. You start a conversation back and forth. So if you put something of interest here, say, oh, I see you like soccer. Do you play or do you watch? And if you watch, who's your favorite team? Okay. So that is a way of starting a conversation through direct messages. Here, I like to put a list of keywords, core competencies, maybe 12 to 15 of them. Not more, because it just looks like too long of a list. And guess what? If the words were not in the market value filters in the skills section, and you want to use your own vernacular that is, in your industry or that you're used to using, this would be a great place to put those words. I typically put them in alphabetical order. And the reason for that is a hiring manager is going to look at this and say, must haves, nice to haves, oh, he, she also has. So I think it's a logical way of presenting it, rather than the order that you think comes out of your brain would be different than the order that would come out of somebody else's brain. So as a former K-12 teacher, again, I'm going to go for logic and the alphabetical order. You can also put a tech stack in here. And these are categorized applications, CRM databases. Normally, I put these in alphabetical order, but when she, built this in here, she did put them in the order that was most important to her. She can erase this pretty soon when she updates her profile, and then there's contact info. Now, she hasn't put her new job on, but um, this is where a job seeker can take their resume content and copy and paste it into LinkedIn. Some people say, "Oh, you shouldn't do that." I'm going to say, why not? If you work hard to get really good content and you have metrics in it with numbers, dollars, percents, then by all means, you should use that content because you're telling how you helped a company make money, save time, and improve processes. So any numbers 1 to 9, I typically use the word and the numerical value. And then any numbers 10 and above, I just use the numerical value. All right. So that's a little bit about the about section. And I'm going to keep moving on. So I already did the demo of the SOP, um, and Google Trends and ChatGPT. You can also get keywords from a job description from ChatGPT. So I'll show you that in just a second. But here's the LinkedIn GitHub Career Explorer. And down here, you've got, here's restaurant server, sales coordinator, and a bunch of keywords that they suggest. Um, and you can go down here and explore. Here's a public relations assistant, and there's the keywords that they suggest for that. Let's see if I were to put in career counselor. See, I'm pulling it down from their down menu, and now they're giving me keywords. So you can play with that. And if we were to go to a job on LinkedIn, so let me go back to my LinkedIn profile, and let's just pick a job. We're going to pick a project management job, and I will pick something here. Okay, assistant project manager. So what I can do is get ready with this job description. And again, I hope ChatGPT is going to cooperate, because I don't have um, my paid account up here. But what I'm going to do is ask it a question and give a prompt. So create an alphabetical list of keywords from this job description and capitalize the first letter of each word. So now I'm going to go snag that job description, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it into ChatGPT. But I believe that you should not use one methodology for getting keywords. I use a multi-prong approach with clients, but my prompt actually is slightly different because these all came out as one words, and I don't typically do that. So I could tweak it, but I just can't tweak it right now and demo because this is not my paid account right here. But I might say keywords are typically 1, 2, or 3 words. So I would add that to the prompt. Let me see if I can try it. Redo with keywords that are typically 1, 2, or 3 words. Well, let's see if it comes up with something different. Yes. Okay. So now we have some keywords. So if you're in a pinch and you need to customize each and every resume from a good, strong base resume, and you're a pinch for time, yes, can you use this? Yes, but is it going to give you the most comprehensive list of keywords? No. All right, moving on, because I know we're running out of time. So back to the about section. Why do I do what I do to make the about section skimmable and scannable? and not paragraphy. I think the paragraphy stuff is meant for articles, newsletters, um, maybe posts where you're, telling stories, but you're going to do a sentence or two in white space, sentence or two in white space. You have to break it up and make it easy for the human eye to read. So I'm working on writing my doctoral dissertation on the topic of LinkedIn for job seekers, and Eric Qualman is one of the people that I was going to quote in my dissertation. So here in the deck, there's a YouTube from 8 years ago and one from 6 years ago, and he, notes that goldfish have an 8-second attention span and humans have a 7. So you want to be able to, write in a skimmable and scannable way. Here's Dan. He is a graphic designer and a branding strategist, creative director, and he built his own banner because he's a graphic designer. So he's showcasing some of his work. Now, when I use this headline analyzer called Share Through, they changed it in July of 2024, but I still use it if I can access it. They want you to pay for the platform now, but I run the headline through Share Through, and instead of giving me 3 scores, they now give me 6. Um, but when they did give me 3, his overall LinkedIn headline was a 97, his engagement score was a 95, and his impression score was 100. So how do you differentiate yourself from other people? So here's somebody else that I'm going to pull up who's given me permission. Um, if you met somebody at a networking event and you connected with them on LinkedIn and it made an impression on you, it was memorable. So, believe it or not, here's the word oink. And if I want people and I want first level connections, look at that. I can find um, this person. Maybe I didn't remember their name, but I remembered he had oink in his LinkedIn headline. That stuck with me. So if we look and see who he is, here he says empowering small businesses with comprehensive digital solutions, web development, graphic design, branding, and marketing. Huff and puff and blow that old website down to make your branding oink. Well, it aligns with his brand. His company name and website is Pig Art Graphics. So you got the little piggy snouts in there, and if that made you giggle or or laugh, then that's great. That made an impression on you, and that's what you want to do when other people come to your profile. Make yourself memorable, make yourself stand out. Now, I didn't do his LinkedIn profile, but I did perhaps help him with his headline. Now, Dan has changed his about section since I took screenshots of this, but he's an Aussie and he is living about 15 minutes away from me in Pennsylvania. And so I suggested he be his authentic self and put the little Australian flag in there. And then, if you look at his USP, unique selling proposition, crafting compelling visual stories to elevate brands from down under to up over the top with cutting edge creative solutions. So here you got bullet point, white space, bullet point, white space, but the bullet points are the emojis. And then he's got a little bit longer list of core competencies. And then his tech stack is vertical. So you have contact information down at the bottom. I found this article in the Washington Post, and I think this is worth reading because it's why I do what I do in the About section. So, to cognitive neuroscientists, humans seem to be developing digital brains with new circuits for skimming through the torrent of information online. This alternative way of reading is competing with traditional deep reading circuitry developed over several millennia. So we are inundated with torrents of information every day. And so when we look at emails that were sent, we're looking at who they're from and the subject line. Is it worthy of opening, or are we going to go swish, swish, swish and swipe it all away? So the same thing on the about section, you have, one impression, um, first impression to make when people come to your LinkedIn profile. Is it friendly to read? Can people see that you've built your brand? And we're doing nonlinear reading now. So that's why it's important that you get involved in skimming and scanning. Now, as far as a resume is concerned, this kind of relates to this, even though we're talking LinkedIn. So here's a black and white resume. This is where the ladders did a research study and they put special goggles on recruiters. And the blobs are heat maps, and it went down 2/3 of the way with a black and white resume. So I adopted the type of resume on the right that has shaded bands, and they put them in grayscale. I do mine in blue, but it's kind of like you've heard when people do PowerPoints, they're going to tell you, you're going to tell them what you tell them, you're going to tell them, and then you tell them what you just told them. Well, you can't do that on a resume in LinkedIn, only the first two. So these shaded band is you're going to tell them what you're going to tell them, and then underneath you tell them. You tell them what you're going to tell them, and you tell them. Rinse and repeat. So in this case, the recruiter's eyes went top to bottom. So I, take this lesson, this concept, and apply it to writing, resumes and LinkedIn profiles. And you want to get matchy matchy, in my humble opinion, um, from your base resume to your LinkedIn profile, but you want to differentiate each and every resume and make it unique, um, and tailor it to the job description every time you're submitting it. You can add media to your LinkedIn profile. You can, create a career portfolio and do attachments or links. And that also adds a pop of color to your profile. You can publish on LinkedIn. I think I've got an article that has like 57 post ideas. So if you go to greatcareers.org and type 57 in the top right, you are going to see that article. You also want to not have a closed job. You kind of need a job to get a job. So, my suggestion over here on the right is volunteer. Find a nonprofit that you can volunteer for, that is, maybe aligns with your areas of interest, or what you care about in your community. And even though LinkedIn is kind of poo-pooing and downplaying hashtags, I think a lot of us are still using them. So here's a bunch of hashtag tips. You can, enter the word hashtag in greatcareers.org. And then how to conquer the employment gap on your LinkedIn profile and resume. If you go to greatcareers.org and add the word gap, you'll find an article for that. So here's your homework. I know I'm a little over 4 o'clock, but I'm going to wrap up and then I'll see if anybody has questions or wants to come on. So here's all the different things that you need to do on your profile. And here's another checklist of things that you need to do. And, as I said, volunteer, pay it forward. This is one of my most favorite books. So, yes, I run a for profit business, but I also run a nonprofit, a 501c3 nonprofit, greatcareers.org. We run 18 to 25 events a month. And when we do that, we have, topics, career topics that are for job seekers, client seekers, or employed people. And so I consider myself a servant leader. I'm also very heavily involved in the Thought Leadership Branding Club, and I have been for the past 4 years. So if you go to thoughtleadershipbranding.club, there is an events page there, and there's so many wonderful colleagues that I have that put some excellent programs out there. Now, if you need to, as a job seeker, need to fill in, you don't have a volunteer place, you can fill in by creating your own LinkedIn company page. Even though it's meant for somebody who is in business, it's just a strategy that you can use. And that's actually something I am teaching this Saturday for SCORE Las Vegas. So score.org/Las Vegas. It's Saturday, I think 12 o'clock Eastern time or 9 o'clock Pacific time. But there's some instructions, and this is what you need to build the company page. We're not going to go over all that today. This is just a quick little checklist. So here are my upcoming speaking events. If you go under my LinkedIn headline, you'll see a link for more gobsmacking resources. And on that link, you'll find my publications. I've written almost 300 articles in the past 6 years. You'll find my upcoming speaking events. Everything will pretty much be on greatcareers.org. And other information, if you want to book a call. So here's where else I'm booked speaking through December. And then if you want this deck, please feel free to DM me on LinkedIn. It's a Google slide deck, and I would be happy to send you the link. So here's my contact information and my profile. In 2023, I was put in influencedigest.com as a LinkedIn expert in Philly. And then 2 years, I was put on another list. So the last thing I've got for you today is I wrote chapter 8 in this book. It is found on the ATD website, which is td.org. And there were 16 career coaches total that contributed chapters to this book. And the very famous Dick Bowles, who wrote What Color's Your Parachute, wrote the foreword in this book before he passed away. He passed in April 2017, and the book was published in October of 2016. So it first started out being about the applicant tracking system, and then they asked me to just add on more information so it could be about applying to jobs. So I think that is the last slide. Yes, it is. That is my story, and I'm sticking to it. And now I'm going to see if I gotta stop share. Let's see, I gotta figure out how to do this. Okay, here we go. Stop sharing screen. So I don't know if there are any questions or if anybody wants to come up to the stage. But if you do, hopefully I will see your um, uh, request, and then I can pull you up to the stage, and you can either have your camera on or you could turn it off. But I will wait a couple minutes and see if anybody has any questions or want to come up. Hopefully you've got some nuggets out of today and some ideas from my perspective. Although there's lots of people that teach different things, so take it all in and do what works for you, do what you love, and what resonates with you. So again, I hopefully I did this okay as a solo run without Lisa, and I hope she feels better. I'm not seeing any requests. Let me see if we've got Merrill here. All right, so I guess he posted it in the comments, and I don't think I have anybody that wants to come up right now. So I'm going to end this call, and hopefully we'll see you next month with Lisa. If not, I will do another solo and I will do another topic. Again, if you go to my LinkedIn headline and underneath more gobsmacking resources, you will see the different topics that I speak on. And oh, somebody is wanting to come up. Okay. So I will pick something from there. So let's see who this is. I got to figure out how to pull them up. um, Okay. Sorry about this. Oh, this is all new to me. I need more practice on this, guys. Uh, I don't know how to. Oh, Katerina. Okay. Let me see if I can add you on. All right. Hello, Katerina.
Hi, I have just a quick question. Would you recommend posting articles or posts
Oh,
relevant to my area of expertise?
um, the answer to that is it depends, or the answer to that is both. So you can do articles, which are one-offs. You can also do newsletters where you're going to have a regular cadence of, so you have to commit to writing on a regular cadence. It could be once a week, it could be once a month, it could be quarterly, it could be yearly. The beautiful thing about a LinkedIn newsletter is LinkedIn rolls out the red carpet for you, and they will send your first newsletter out to all your first level connections. And then every time you write a newsletter, they will announce it to all your subscribers, that exist, on whoever subscribed to you the first time around. Now, post, you want to post items, but more importantly, if you're a job seeker, you want to comment. So, commenting creates visibility, credibility, and discoverability because it'll go out to people in your network, it'll go out to the people in the network of the person that you're commenting on. So, you might want to comment for, 15 minutes or something like that before you actually post, because if LinkedIn sees that you're engaging on a platform, then it likes that. So I would, do posts, and, if you have subject matter expertise in something, to write an article or to write on a regular basis a newsletter and get on a cadence, that's what I would recommend. Does that help?
Yes, and could you repeat the 15-minute suggestion?
So before you post something on LinkedIn, you should be engaging on other people's posts on LinkedIn. Um, I'm going to share my screen just for a hot minute here. Let me pull up a link. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. Let me go to the window, and I want this. Okay, so here we are at greatcareers.org. If you type in the word commenting, and I'm going to search for this article, all right, and I'm going to pull it up. So, commenting on LinkedIn can create visibility, discoverability, and credibility. So, that's what you want to do. You want to comment in people's posts before you post. It will help you rather than hurt you, so to speak. So, let me stop share.
Thank you so much.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Does anybody else want to come up? Otherwise, I will call it a day, and we'll see you next month. I'll give it a second here. All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming. I'm going to end the stream. And if you know anybody that would benefit from watching this, by all means, you can refer them to my events tab on my LinkedIn profile, because the replay will be there. You can also find it on the Great Careers PHL Facebook page. And you can also find it on the Great Careers PHL YouTube page. So have a great day, and we'll see you next time.